We are back in the shop today. This is DRIFTWEEK2 PREP. Got Todd and Rivers helping me out today, and it is fuel system day. So we are ripping this nasty, cracked, disgusting old fuel cell out. The only thing that was good on it were my replaced fuel lab components that they hooked me up on DRIFTWEEK1. So they're now giving me a full fuel system. So I'm gonna get their surge tank, fuel safe branded, bladder cell, everything's SFI and blah, blah, blah. It's gonna be legit, okay? So this is gonna come out. I'm also doing some cosmetic stuff. You can see we removed the bumper. We've got some other things going on here. The wheels are now getting powder coated, so I'm gonna have white wheels again. So these are the wheels from the Z. And yeah, just got the car jacked up. We're gonna start yanking stuff out. Todd's already got the seat out, and I'll show you why. Here, actually, let's go look at that real quick. So basically, we're gonna replace all the fuel lines as well. Everything's gonna get fresh and new. And so I've got these bolts here that hold this right here, which is a protector for the fuel lines. As you can see, it runs under there. Maybe you can't see it. I'll show you a little more later here. But yeah, we're gonna get this stuff, get it yanked out and get going. So first things first, disconnect all the wiring and everything, pull these pumps, start pulling the lines, and then that cell's gotta come out. Okay, so we've got most of this crap removed now. Now it's time to drain the cell, which I have conveniently welded a drain bung on. So I'm just gonna put my jug here, get my wrench. Let's see. Ow! Hit my head real quick just for good measure. Try not to splash this in my eyes. There you go. And hope that there's not more than 5 gallons in there. So we'll watch that. We just removed this right here. This is a protective cover for the fuel lines that I custom made years ago with Todd, actually. And if you can see, that's got studs welded to it, but it's smooth on the bottom, and it even goes contours with the subframe, so it fits perfectly, and it's really nice thick metal. It's kind of heavy. It probably weighs at least 5 pounds, but it's worth it because I kept breaking fuel lines, and I don't want to mess with that. So here's all of our stuff. We've got the cell out. Now we're removing the fuel lines before I start grinding. So I've got hard line and soft line. The soft line is the return and the hard line is the feed. And yeah, we're just gonna keep removing it all the way to the engine bay. Uh-oh. Keep pulling. Oh shit. Yeah, we got gas everywhere. Todd, can you check the back of this line and help me maneuver it out of here? Like, can I go out your way or should I go back? I'll go your way.
You're dumping a lot of fuel there.
Oh, I know. Ain't a damn thing I can do about it.
Try not to turn it sideways.
I have to get it out.
Just don't split on you. Careful.
Okay, go ahead and pull this out. Nice and gentle. I don't want to bend this one. There. This is all the heat wrap and garbage that was protecting it from the exhaust, which has also gotten all destroyed and nasty. So I got work to do. But fuel lines are off. So now we get to make some nice new ones and wrap them and protect them, and they'll be good. Also, my rice lights, RIP. So one thing I need to make sure to mention is Drift Week is going to be very expensive. It is an expensive trip. There's no way around that. So I'm trying to make sure I can raise some funds to make sure it's a little bit easier for me to get all the way to the end in case I have any problems or anything like that. So I'm trying to sell some stuff that I think would be memorable for people, you know, to become a part and have something, a piece of history that's really cool. So one of the things is this windshield. This windshield, I'm going to get it removed and put a brand new windshield in for Drift Week 2. So I thought it would be really cool for someone to be able to display this on their wall, their shop, at home, wherever, their office, I don't know, whatever you guys think would be cool. So this is the windshield from Drift Week 1. It's got the Drift Week 1 banner on it. You guys can see it's signed by every single driver on Drift Week. We've got Chelsea Znofa, Matt Field, Officer Dan, Adam LZ's over there, Excel from Hyperdrive, Aaron Losi, I mean everybody. I signed it myself as well. The whole driver's lineup is on here, so you guys can have that. It's got a really well done, which I must say I did myself, track map and logo from every single venue that we went to in order. We started at Harris Hill, then to Sandia, and so on. And then we've got all the sponsor logos from the trip itself. So if you guys want to have this on your wall at home, I've got it for sale on my website. It would be great to have it not only help me offset the cost of Drift Week, but also to share with you guys and have a piece of history. And another little added little bonus is this is actually the same windshield that I raced with on Hyperdrive. So this is the Hyperdrive windshield and the Drift Week windshield. Yes, it's just an S14 windshield. Sure, you can get a replacement, but like I said, it's a little piece of history and it comes with a display like this, so it'll look really cool on your wall. So if you guys want to pick it up, check out my website, fieldingshredder.com, and you can purchase it. You can be the one lucky winner or owner. And if it's a little too expensive for you, or you're, you know, don't have anywhere to put it, maybe consider buying a t-shirt or a sticker or a keychain or something, because every little bit helps. Okay, so I've now removed this little tiny inline filter that I had in my water system. We're gonna see if it was beneficial to have, see if we got any crap from the tank that could have gotten, oh my God, no wonder it wasn't working. So much sludge.
Fungus.
Gross. All right, so it's good that I had a filter. It's bad that I haven't checked it in a while. So yeah, I did that because I didn't want the tiny little mister nozzles to get clogged up with whatever water went in there. And now I see that that was a good idea. However, I haven't checked it in like a year, so it's completely clogged. No wonder my water squirters weren't working at all. So I'm gonna clean this out and check it more often. Yeah, we've got this all finished out now. You can see this is my little cage for the water tank. There's the water pump. Here's the water lines that distribute to over each tire. You can see they go through, and there's the sprayers there. And so this is what I've had to repair since Hyperdrive. This is not a factory cross piece for the subframe mount anymore. This is a nice tubular, you know, box piece that I plated into the subframe when I did the frame pull. So this has all been repaired. All right, so we are in here. We are pulling off the charge pipes now. I'm gonna get these coated by Polydyne. They've got a really trick coating that coats the inside. I think it's called Super Slick or Slick 50 or something like that. But anyway, it increases the air velocity by 7 to 10%. So that's gonna be a nice little free horsepower gain. And then we're gonna coat the outside with a ceramic coating similar to like the manifold. And that's just gonna help prevent the heat from penetrating this charge pipe, help cool the intake temps. All good things for Drift Week, especially with the prolonged driving we're gonna be doing. So the boys are now removing the vacuum lines from the wastegates so that we can get those out of the way, because I'm also going to go ahead and pull my Zoner rotor turbo cover off and get that coated from Polydyne as well. I'm debating on whether I should coat the wastegate dump tube as well. Maybe I should. I don't know, but we're getting after it. Getting this sucker all taken apart. Just kind of like grabbing the camera as things are happening. I'm not filming everything we're doing, but I'm gonna keep you updated with what I am doing in between, and then kind of show you the finished results. I'm trying to make this video as entertaining as possible without you just watching me and the boys wrench a whole bunch, because I feel like no one would want to watch that. I don't know, if you think that that's cool, let me know down in the comments, but I wouldn't watch that kind of video, so I don't know. I'm not, you know, a YouTube consumer as much as I am a creator, so I don't know, maybe my mentality's a little different. You guys let me know. Water tank here, unfortunately had a bunch of corrosion and crap inside, so gone in there and kind of scraped it and just cleaned it all out as best we can. Now Rivers is wiping it down with some alcohol, then I'm gonna put some glue on the edges just to keep that from leaking, so that will be good. Todd and I are gonna start to clean this up right here, just get this ready for paint now that we have everything completely removed. And obviously there's plenty of cleaning to do. It's getting pretty gross in there. And we've got the turbo cover off now. So this is the Zoner Rotor turbo. You see I've got a elbow welded to it with similar to a V-band flange, but it has a little bit more of the articulation. Pulled the O-rings off, inspected it. I've got a little bit of oil in here, so I'm just gonna keep an eye on that. Not really a whole lot I can do about that right now. And also don't know really where it's coming from, but here's what the turbine looks like exposed. It is beautiful and fragile, so I'm gonna try and make sure this stays protected. I just left the snap ring here hanging out, and then I'll just kind of clean this up nicely to get that, you know, ready for reinstallation once it's coated. So this is gonna give me some more room to work here, and I don't know yet if I'm gonna tackle moving this wastegate dump tube through this little channel and whipping it back up like you guys saw on that previous video where we made this one. I haven't decided yet, but you know, one thing at a time. I'm trying not to do too much before Drift Week because it has been so reliable, and I also don't want to screw myself and then be late or not finish on time. So all right, let's get to cleaning. So now I moved on to this charge pipe, and this is just one of those things that I can't help myself. This is totally unnecessary for a drift car, but it's got all these little raised sections from the weld on the inside, and that just bothers me because that's not correct. So in like a proper race car, that's robbed horsepower right there. That's creating air turbulence and preventing the air from smoothly going from the turbo into the intake. In a drift car, you know, it doesn't really matter that much, and then of course you can just turn the boost up, and we're not limited by a restrictor plate or any little details like that. So this is definitely overkill, but whatever. I've got my carbide bit. It's on a drill, not on a proper die grinder, but that's okay. And so I'm just gonna smooth it out as best I can real quick. Not spend too much time on it, but I feel like I should not send this off to get slick coated when I have all these highs and lows inside. So I'm gonna fix that right now. Doing a little cosmetic as well. River's over here helping sand. This is not a fun job, I know, but it's an important one. So this KBD bumper held up fantastic, and I've had it on the car for 2 years now without having to repaint it, but it definitely lost a bunch of paint from me going off track a whole bunch of times, and you know, eventually you gotta fix it. What's beautiful about it is that it's not fiberglass work. It's still in one piece. It's undamaged, even though I hit the wall at Hoonigan right here. It made a tiny little cut in it, but not a big deal. And overall, it's been a fantastic upgrade for the car because I'm not responsible enough to own fiberglass. So repainting it every 2 years or whatever is totally worth it. And as long as you prep it right, the paint does stick really well. You have to use a special kind of primer that's got some flexing agent into it. And then if you put flex agent in the paint, even better. This is just a cheap paint job. It's a $500 Mako / Econo paint job, and you know, it's not anything fancy, but it works good, it looks good on track, and it's cheap enough that I can redo it every year if I need to. Up next, new fuel lines. These are brand new stainless braided PTFE lines. They're very nice quality. They're a much needed upgrade for my car, and I'm gonna go ahead and wrap them in some of this nice PTP heat shielding that you might have seen I wrapped my other lines with. I'm gonna wrap the first probably 4 or 5 feet so that everything under the engine bay and as it runs near the exhaust is all protected and shielded. And then behind that should be just fine. So I'm not gonna waste too much of this material. You know, it's kind of expensive, but yeah, should be a good, nice protective barrier. This also is the nylon lined one, or I guess wrapped, to where it goes outside of the stainless, so it's even one more layer of protection, so that's just even better. So I'll admit, making PTFE lines is not fun. It usually ends up in bloody fingers of some kind. But the best way I found out to do it is just cut it nice and sharp with a cutoff wheel, nice and straight, wrap it with tape. You gotta clean this out so you can hit it with some brake cleaner and then air. And then you've got to take your fitting, which I have over here, and you wanna grease this up a little bit. And these PTFE ones have this piece called a ferrule, which is this like a crimp sleeve, and it's only a one-time use. So you can reuse, oh my God, I'm dropping stuff. You can reuse the fitting, but you cannot reuse the ferrule. And here's one that has been used. You can see it's a little bit deformed, and the shape is a little bit changed. I'm not sure if the GoPro's focusing on that, but you just can't reuse it. So once you pull them off, toss that and get a brand new one. So whenever I order these fittings, I always order a couple extra ferrules per fitting, just in case I make a mistake, or you know, you gotta change something or redo it or whatever. So now I got this cut, and this goes on first. Oh, puppums. Hey Soul, what you doing, bud? Oh, nice. All right, in and out. And then you can go ahead and pull the tape, and then this has to go in between the stabby part and the PTFE lining, so like that. And what it's gonna do is it's gonna kind of flare out this PTFE lining. So you can go ahead and help that along. You can use either like a flathead or a pick, and just kind of, you know, try not to stab yourself. You don't want it to go too much, but it's gotta go some. And this is where it sucks building these lines. Oh, Jesus Christ. Ah! Fuck. We're getting close. We're trying to get that PTFE liner just all the way flush with the edge of the ferrule. There you go. You can kind of see that. So that's good. And now the final step is this will slide into here. And oh look, I'm bleeding. That's how it goes. So it won't be the last time I'm bleeding today. So just get this nice and clean. It's also important to note that you have to get the same brand line and fittings, or else they won't work. They're all like very specific sized stuff. Okay, so I got it started. There we go. Okay, looks good. You can see it's all nice and flush all the way around. And now, the final step. These are aluminum, so I'm going to use what's called a soft jaw, which is just a little cover that goes over the vise here. I'm going to slide the fitting in here. Okay. Grab it nice and firm. Hold that down. Now I'm putting downward pressure on the line, and then I'm going to turn this And the reason I'm putting downward pressure so it doesn't push it out. Everyone has a little bit of a different way of building AN lines. I don't have big arms, so I have to do as much leverage as I can. So we're getting there. These soft jaws are terrible. Ain't a show car, so I'm not worried about scratching it up that much. Okay, so we're getting close to the end now. So I got a little trick here. You don't want to bottom it out. You want to leave a small gap. I can feel right now that the ferrule is being deformed. It's being tightened and crushed like it should be. Right there. So what you want to do is leave just a fingernail gap in between the base of the fitting and the fitting itself. The reason why you do that is so that you're not bottoming out the threads. You also are proving to yourself that you tighten this correctly, and then you can check it and test it, and it should be good to go. You know, and then I like to just line up the flat so that it looks nice. You don't have to do that, but you can. And there we go. We got one terminated fitting, -8 for the fuel feed. The last thing we got to do, like I was saying, you got to spray brake cleaner in here and then spray it out with air. Very, very important step. Make sure you do that. Keep everything clean. And then now I can slide the heat sleeving up and kind of get it over the edge here a little bit. And that'll look really nice and be functional. And there you go. That's a finished, completed, you know, terminated -8 fuel line with heat sleeving. So now I'm going to install this on the car, and then I can route the line itself to make sure that I cut this to the correct length. So obviously it's a long coil right now. It's going to run from the fuel feed splitter under the car, and then it's going to end up on the new fuel cells feed pump line, wherever that ends up. So I'm going to leave it, you know, coiled up and long right now. Oh, pups, what are you doing? Oh my gosh, y'all are wild. Hey, hi Luna, you're sweet. Yeah, so anyway, I'm gonna leave it cooled up until I get the fuel cell installed. That way I cut it to length one time, pull it off one more time, clean it all out, terminate it, and install it, final install. Look at these beasties. Look at Soul. Hey, good boy. Oh,
Oh goodness.
oh, you're so wild. That is your sister, sir. I don't think so. You little nasty. Hey.
Oh my god.
Be nice. This is how vicious pit bulls are. Look at Luna. She doesn't even give a damn. Oh. Leave her alone. Go play. Yeah, you sure do. Hey. Soul. Be nice.
Oh, you're such an asshole.
He is. Look at him. All right, we're gonna call this a night. It is getting dark. Todd went home. Rivers is ready to roll. So what we do here, we got a bunch of parts everywhere. Yanked the fuel cell and the water tank out. Cleaned all this up pretty good. Got it ready for primer. Cut all the old stuff out, which is now here. It's held the old cell. Then I came over here, built a new fuel line. We ripped out the old fuel lines. We sealed the water tank. We also removed the compressor cover for the turbo and the charge pipe, which is gonna go off to Polydyne to get coated. And all in all, hell of a day in the shop here. So hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this. I don't know if you do or not. Like I said earlier, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I don't know if you did or not. Like I said earlier, do you like watching us wrench on cars, or just like to see me drive them and crash them? Who knows? But you guys let me know in the comments below. Thanks again for subscribing and all that.